Danny Acosta for Fight Magazine here with UFC President Dana White. A big event for the WC, probably the biggest in history. It's clear that WC has some of the best fighters in the world, especially the weight class. What's the mindset behind running the UFC and the WC as separate but equal entities?
What's the mindset?
Yeah.
Well, we have two different television deals with Spike TV and Versus, and both television networks are great partners to us, and both businesses are doing great. So it makes all the sense in the world.
We saw a little intermingling between the two today, with your presence here, Joe Rogan, et cetera, et cetera. Is there a chance for the WEC fighters to be brought into the UFC video game at all? Because that's been a big deal for you guys over the last year. And, the UFC fighters do get a little more benefits in that way, that they have the exposure of a video game, while the WC guys, maybe not so much.
Well, at the end of the day, we're the same company, same owners. Me and the Fertitta brothers and Flash Entertainment own, basically WC and UFC, Pride, and whatever else we have under the umbrella. But what people don't understand is it takes time to build a business. And me, Goldie, Rogan, Buffer, all coming into this show, we're the pay-per-view team. We do the pay-per-views, and I think that while this was all the WC fighters, this was a bigger event tonight. It was a pay-per-view. I think it looked different. It felt bigger, and we made this thing worth buying on pay-per-view. We're not just throwing this thing on pay-per-view. We know what we're doing. We've been in this business for a long time, and I think we did it right tonight.
Well, I guess to reiterate my question, I'm asking, is there a way that you're going to continue to make sure that the WC fighters get an equal share that the UFC guys do? For example, today you guys bumped up the bonuses to $65,000.
Well, an equal share. People are bitching. The media and the fans are always like, "Oh, pay these guys what the other guys make." You have to have pay-per-view to make that kind of money. So tonight was the first step in getting to that level. You gotta understand, we've owned the WC. We've been doing this for 3 years. We've had the UFC for 10 years. Nobody builds a business overnight, and if you haven't learned from all the guys over the last 10 years that have thrown millions and millions of dollars trying to get into this sport and blown it all, it takes time. You got to take your time and work your way up. Nothing just pops up and makes all kinds of money overnight. It doesn't work that way. Any
last words for fans?
For what?
For fans?
Yeah, no, I want to say thanks to everybody who got behind this event, purchased it or bought tickets, and it was a great success because of you and the fighters.